control. Transmission control. Transmission control.
Official.StreetSmarks@gmail.com is how you want to contact us. Listen to us right here exclusively on YouTube, Street Smart Audio, or fuck with us. Official.StreetSmarks on SoundCloud and IG, Street Smart Fanpage on Facebook, Street_Smarks on Twitter, ECW Memories with the Goofs.
What's up, Goofs? What's up, Goofs?
This is the Extreme Retro Review for ECW, April 15th, 1995. This is Hostile City Showdown. It's Extreme Retro Review number 120.
Wow, 120.
Broad Street Cyberbullies in the house. Just give it to you real quick. What were your thoughts and views of this show?
Well, I have a few thoughts and views on the show because I almost missed the show. How I did that because the previous show we just did last week, the post three-way dance show, they did mention Hostile City Showdown in the date one time and shit. But I had no clue that after this show it's gonna be Hostile City Showdown. So that show last week was the 411 show. So I'm on the network, 418 come on and shit. I'm like, yeah, let's do this and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I was in the mode. The paragon of professionalism. So I was feeling extra paragony and shit. Joey Styles get on his stuff on the 418 show talking about, oh, what a Hostile City Showdown. I'm like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh shoot, this was Hostile City Showdown was the next show and shit. So I ended up watching it, and my thoughts of the show was it wasn't bad. It was good. There was a pretty sweet ass swerve in there. I can't wait for you to talk about that. There was, once again, the placement of the world title match pissed me off. So this time it went on third from the end and shit. The World Championship of their promotion, Extreme Championship Wrestling now, no longer Eastern, is going on third from the end and shit. But so that was cool. You know what I'm saying, in a sarcastic way. And the what else? Oh, and the main event. The main event was weird. The finish was weird. So, you know, it has some good moments. But and there was another match of the year contender on here tonight as well, I feel. Eddie Guerrero and Dean Malenko.
So we start off with Stevie Richards with Raven in his corner versus Mikey Whipwreck. Mikey gets a nice pop. Stevie Richards is in full, complete lackey mode at this point.
Yes, he is.
He has a Daisy Dukes. and the cutoff shirt. With the deep moulet.
Oh man. Larry Winters would be proud.
So Raven's in the ring, or Raven's outside. He's cutting off Mikey, stopping his shine and shit. So Mikey powders and brings back the shot. It's Basic opener stuff. Face shine, heel with goofy heel antics. Heel takes over without cheating, so Raven gets the heat. Shaw responds. Mikey finishes with a Frankie Mikey for the dud.
Frank and Mikey.
Your thoughts on the match?
Oh man, it was no technical masterpiece by no means, but I found it to be a very entertaining match. I enjoyed it.
That's one. Raven immediately beats up Mikey. Shaw saves and goes at Raven. The crowd is eating this shit up. The Pitbulls make it 4-on-2, but the PE make the save. Because we assume that the Public Enemy are now baby faces.
Naturally.
Shout out to the Hopeless Hoodie, who the PE take his wallet, look in, and they see that he only has $2.
Oh man, they had to do JT like that.
The next match is the Fashion Plate, Tony the Hitman Stetson versus Tsubo Genjin.
Tsubo Genjin, okay. Yeah, because it was a T in there, and from the screen, I couldn't tell if that was an L or an I at the end, so it must have been an I and shit, and I thought it was a J, but you know what I'm saying, it was, alright, so I appreciate it. Tsubo Genjin, and it starts with a T, though.
What was your thoughts of the match?
What were my thoughts on the match? It was okay. So basically, you have two jobbers in this match, at least to me and shit. And the freaking, how did the person who won? I don't want to spoil the review and shit. How did the person that won win the way that they won and shit?
Quick story on Genjin. He debuted in December of 1994 under the Wing promotion.
Okay.
He came to ECW in 1995 under the Shooter's tutelage.
Oh boy.
And he's fighting the Fashion Plate of ECW. This is terrible. He is terrible. He is terrible. And he might be the worst Japanese wrestler ever.
Okay. Well, that's a good gimmick to have.
I'm waiting for 911.
You gotta call 911.
He never comes. Genjin wins with a standing leg drop.
With a standing leg. Okay, because I wanted to make sure you saw the same tape that I saw and shit. Because yes, he literally, said Stetson was basically dominating the match and shit there. He had his little comeback and shit. And he literally stood next to his face. He didn't bounce off the ropes or nothing. He didn't energize himself with strength or nothing. He didn't pray or nothing. He just jumped up, dropped his leg on his throat, and then got the victory.
Negative infinity!
Oh, man.
They boo this out the building. Genjin then flicks off the crowd because he knows that they're marks who paid to see him wrestle.
No, they didn't pay to see him wrestle.
They're in the building. They paid.
No, nobody knew Genjin, Tsubo Genjin was going to be on the fucking card that night. Now that I will not let fly. Keep your flicking off to yourself, Tsubo, because no, didn't nobody come to see you. Not one person had a Tsubo Genjin sign out there. Or a Tsubo Genjin t-shirt, nothing.
So next we have Battle of the Bad Breed.
Jesus H. Christ.
Fans Revenge. Axel cuts a promo going over all the weapons, going over their blood feud. And he pulls out the strap match. The fans don't want that. He pulls out a baseball bat. The fans reply that they don't want that either. He pulls out the barbed wire baseball bat. The fans pop like virgins at senior prom. And then Axel goes for more cheap heat by saying, we can do this, the Bad Breed Death Match, and we can use every fucking weapon in the barrel. And the fans go ape shit. Ian comes from behind, starts off the match. It's the usual Bad Breed match. Just extra squeamish and extra sloppy.
I've watched this in chunks because I had to fast forward through a lot of it. I ain't gonna lie. So I'd watch some, fast forward, watch some, fast forward, because that shit was. I'm not into that shit. I'm not into that shit. I'm not into that shit. I'm not into that shit.
Ian's forehead is a complete mess. But he has new tights.
For what?
It's the usual awfulness, inside and out, a little more brutal, and a lot more squeamish. Joey says, a wrestling move. I don't consider a savate kick a wrestling move. The DDT that was used later, yes.
Right.
But not the kick. Ian wraps barbed wire around Axel's face and chairs him for the win.
Thank God it's over.
Moving on.
No, we won't be moving on because Joey says the fucking feud continues. Why can't we move on from that? Do you know, I was the real life version of the sad face emoji when he it's like he read my mind. I was like, please let this be the last match. It's like, and this feud will continue.
Joey's at ringside for a Stevie Raven Beulah promo. Stevie tells us that nobody in ECW is crazier than Tommy Dreamer, because while he beat up the bullies, and he beat up himself, he lost to his man Raven in the Generation X Gauntlet match. He lost to his man Raven at the three-way dance. So he must be crazy to want another match. He's also crazy for not fucking with Beulah McGillicuddy, who used to weigh 320 pounds and had zits all over her face. But look at her now.
Yeah.
She's a penthouse playmate. The crowd is on Stevie hardcore, but he did not stumble or waffle one bit during this whole promo.
He's an awesome flumpy.
Raven no-sold everything as they have their rematch.
A la Fooge.
Tommy Dreamer versus Raven with Stevie and Beulah. Joey puts over the summer camp story. Double juice. Everything is used to include the kitchen sink. Literally back and forth action all throughout the arena. Tommy Dreamer tries the Dream Weaver sleeper hold. It doesn't work. So he uses a plastic dinosaur to take his retaliation, which Raven sells. He uses a carton of eggs. And Joey dubs him the innovator of violence. Raven with 3 DDTs for false finish number 1. Comeback DDT on Raven on the outside. Stevie is in for false finish numero dos. No DQ. So Stevie gets to counter a float over DDT to kick him out of the ring. Finnegoof then gets a DDT for the disqualification. Putts jobs again. But Beulah comes in, starts hitting Tommy on the back with her chick fists. Tommy turns around, puts her head between his massive thighs, gives her a pile driver, and Tommy Dreamer is finally over in the ECW Arena. HW thoughts?
Whew. So much I have to unpack here from this match. First of all, I marked I marked because the crowd marked when he power driven, whatever is the correct phrase of speech there. But yeah, when all 100 of those people leapt to their feet and shit, when he dropped her on her head and shit, I'm like, oh shit, he's a made man now, shit. And I'm marked and shit. But so I don't know if this is going to make sense, but I've gotten to the point where I'm enjoying the rivalry of Raven, Nevermore, and Tommy Dreamer, but I'm not a big fan of the storyline. So with the whole camp thing and shit, and that, you know what I'm saying, I'm not really feeling that part, but I'm feeling the rivalry. So, but yeah, this match, like, again, no technical masterpiece, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you want the catch as catch can and shit, and Bret Hart versus Mr. Perfect and shit, this it was not. But for the sake of the rivalry that they have going on, like, I was into it from beginning to end and shit. So I really enjoyed it.
I gave it a match of the year contender. 4 stars.
Okay.
See you at the Sullies. So we move on to the next match. We have the Shooter challenging Eddie Guerrero for the television title. I've watched these matches cold back in the day when WWE was putting out DVDs like crazy on ECW. So, you know, and then when I got to become one of the initial pirates of the IWC, I started, you know, compiling all the ECW matches together and giving this gestalt view of Extreme Championship Wrestling. But I've always paid attention to these matches. When I watched them cold, they bored me to sleep. So now, watching this from beginning to end, I'm invested into the Shooter. You know what I'm saying? And I'm understanding the journey of Eddie Guerrero after his family disowned him and his tag team partner dies.
Rest in peace, R-Bar.
It took me a little bit, but I got pumped after they did the classic pinning exchange and shit. Some troll yelled boring. The crowd responded by telling him to shut the fuck up. And throw him out.
Nice.
It's 2018, so you know how the Shooter and Eddie Guerrero work. It's not as fluid as their later WCW stuff. But it's technically sound for a first beating. About 20-25 minutes in, it ends in a draw. Says you can't job Eddie too quick after winning the TV title. And they're doing the Rest in Peace Art Bar Tour of America. There's a 5 more minute chant for the match. I said, why? I said, if you cut out 10 minutes, it's 4 stars. But I got bored, and I watched it 2 more times. So I gave it 3.5. It's still good. HW thoughts?
Wow. To me, this was another match of the year candidate. And anyone who's listened to this show long enough knows that I am the king of shitting on Dean bore you to sleep, Mastinko and shit. You know what I'm saying? But him and Eddie, like, I felt like they did the damn thing. Like, it, as Jim Cornette likes to say on his podcast, the match looked like a struggle and shit. They showed they could both wrestle and stuff. It still had some of the gimmicky stuff that, you know, a lot of indie wrestlers have taken to the extreme nowadays and stuff. But, you know, the double. I think there was a spot where Guerrero had nipped up and then Malenko had did some shit to get in the stance, and then they're locked eye to eye and shit, and then the crowd popped and shit, blah blah blah. So had a little bit of that shit linked, and it felt like a real wrestling match. It looked like a real wrestling match. So I thought it was a match of the year contender.
Moving on. So we have the ECW World Title rematch. Sandman versus Shane Douglas, with Woman in his corner. If you know, back in Three-Way Dance, Woman had duped Sandman by giving Shane Douglas the cane and leading to the subsequent use of the cane and roll-up.
Backstabbing bitch.
It's all Shane Douglas early on. Sandman with his usual stuff. It's a weird deal because it's like tweener versus de facto face, and it led me to like not understand the finish. So they do the whole Bret Hart, Roddy Piper, Bret Hart, Stone Cold Steve Austin $1 million roll-up deal. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But with a twist. Woman comes over, back around, and hits Shane Douglas in the leg after he has Sandman in the crossface chicken wing. Mm-hmm. He lands on his back. The referee counts to 3, and Sandman is your new champion.
Yes.
Why didn't Shane Douglas let go?
Why didn't he let go? If it was an ultimate double swerve, why didn't she just help Sandman cheat in the first match from the get-go?
The only reason I can come up with is that due to this business partnership, Sandman is doing all the dirty work. So you have to be reminded that women will take one for the team. So I believe that this was a triple swerve. So Shane Douglas has always had, tepid luck at best with his valets. Uh-huh. Sherry Martel bailed on him, came back and started, singing Ric Flair's praises. And now we have Woman who's been, pretty much eyeing him since 93. Shout out 93 Foods. You get better. But Shane Douglas has always had his eye on Woman. And Woman has noticed that. So I feel Woman uses her assets to let Shane get his guard down. So in the ultimate swerve, Woman causes Shane to lose the belt. That's the only thing I can come up with. Because otherwise, he can just let go of the crossface chicken wing.
Yeah. Or she could have just screwed him from the get-go. Could have been slapping him around in the first match like Sandman told her to, and whacked his ass with the motherfucking cane then. And they could have walked out with the belt there.
The crowd chants, "You got fucked." Shane rolls out the ring while Sandman kneels to Woman in Queen of Heaven, Mother Goddess worship.
Oh my goodness.
The crowd starts chanting, "Shane is dead. Shane is dead. Shane is dead. Shane is dead." So he goes into the crowd and grabs a Monday Night Raw t-shirt.
Yeah.
He puts it on. He grabs it from Ortiz and he says, "If I can go somewhere and wrestle, you can all kiss his ass." Kiss his ass. He leaves the arena through the front door. The attention is turned back to Sandman, who's smoking a squally. He gives Woman the belt. She gives him his penis back. I give it 4 stars for everything. HW thoughts?
For the sake of the swerve, like just not thinking about it from a logical perspective, I didn't see that shit coming, and I like nowadays it's not too often where I have like literal oh my god moments and shit, or oh shit moments and shit. But I was like, oh shit. Oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I leapt up out of my bed and shit. And I was, they got me. And I thought that was pretty cool and shit. But then, my brain started kicking in and stuff. And I'm like, why go through all this rigmarole? Unless you just wanted to fuck Shane real quick and, saying like, oh, yeah, it was all part of the plan. Kevin, my husband, and Sandman, the nigga that's paying me. I said, we got the belt. We did it. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, I thought it was also. And the part with Shane with the Monday Night Raw shirt, that shit was intriguing as well. So, are we done with Shane or?
Stay tuned.
Motherfucker.
Stay tuned. White people being offbeat is forever LOL. As Public Enemy fought the Pit Bulls in a clip match to the Heat. Rocco's in peril. He gets gorilla pressed through a table. They double team Johnny Grunge. It's an outside comeback, and I see why the ECW Arena is the house that the Public Enemy built. They are popping for everything these goofballs do.
Why? I don't get it. I do not get it.
They're all over the place, bleeding, cookie sheeting, going back and forth with the pit bulls and the crowd. Stevie's been out there, but he never interfered. Weird.
Right.
Johnny Grunge hits a wipeout through a table. I said shout out to the god of jobbers, Surfer Ray Odyssey.
Oh man, rest in peace.
Stevie finally gets beat up, and this is turning around. Number 2 is a complete mess. Terrible false finish with the Super Bomb Frankenstein deal. Looked like a botch to me. Terrible Rocco misses the drive-by, but Schoolboy's number 1 for the win.
Yeah.
But with all that, I gave it 2.5. Your thoughts?
I thought it was for the people involved, pit bulls and Public Enemy and stuff. It's I don't know, cause like when I say these matches are, I like these matches and I was into these matches. Then I don't know, my critical brain always kicks in, but like why? You know what I'm saying? But like I guess. I don't know, it could be storyline wise, but because I don't know, but this is what a good pro or towards the end of the 90s type of pro wrestling match looks like, with people with a legitimate reason they're having beef with each other. I thought it was another good match. It kind of pissed me off that it was after the world title match again and shit. But I said it and shit again a lot. And shit. But yeah, I thought it was a pretty good match though with the Pit Bulls and Public Enemy.
So we have 911 with Paulie Dangerously versus Ron Simmons. His clip to the finish. Finnegoof takes the best bump. Dud. Your thoughts on the match?
Oh man, I was hoping it would get a negative infinity and shit. Especially with the fucking build up and shit. It seemed like Ron Simmons would have posed a serious threat to 911 and we should have seen that play out and shit. But we didn't, so negative infinity.
We have the main event.
How?
Cactus Jack versus the living legend, Terry Funk.
He's a moron.
These two should have fought at Hardcore Heaven 1994. Recounted by us, Extreme Retro Review number 80.
This would have been done.
The Public Enemy did a run-in on that match, and that's where we got the infamous chair spot. The crowd bows to their false idol.
Indeed.
It's a wild brawl that Funk takes the majority of. Mikey and Shaw come down to help. Funk beats them up. Sandman whacks Terry Funk with the cane on accident.
I was like, yes.
Cactus rolls Terry Funk up for the win. It was boring. I gave it 2 stars. Your thoughts?
I was just happy to see Terry Funk get whacked with the cane and lose. So that made my day right there. So I was a happy man by the end of that match. Shouldn't have been the main event. I was like, well, why? You know what I'm saying? But, at the end of the day, it would have been nice if Terry Funk would have took more of a beating too. But, whatever. But good job, Sandman, with that well-placed Singapore cane shot.
Post-match, Funk blows fire into Cactus Jack's face and pokes him with a flaming branding iron.
Talk about a sore loser. Like, he lost because his man tried to cheat and he paid the price for that interference. And not only could he not just be the bigger man, or not even the bigger man, but be a gracious loser and shit, he has to try to once again brand the man like he is an animal. Like he is not a human being. He's done already degraded and talked about the man's family. He done disparaged poor little Dewey. Who has Dewey bothered? Dewey ain't bothered nobody. But motherfucking that human piece of shit, that human Mr. Hanky and shit, Terry Funk has the nerve and the gall to talk about poor little Dewey and then try to burn Cactus Jack at the end of a match that he lost. Because his man, tried to help him cheat and it backfired.
Terry Funk loses the iron and he powders out the ring.
He's the living turd, not the living legend.
Cactus gets helped to the back. Putz has a fire extinguisher. What a loser. Overall, skip the beginning. You know what I'm saying? All the jobbers and shit. Tsubo Genjin and his terrible match.
Genjin.
Watch the stars go at it. The main event was boring, and I'm still yawning. For historical purposes, always, every supercard show is a thumbs up. But this one is a special thumbs up for the middle. Because it was good match after good match for like 3 or 4 matches in a row.
Nice run going there.
The Extreme Retro Review will take you to the post show of Hostile City Showdown, April 18th. 1995. Until then, life is a work. Make sure you get paid for it. We out. Peace.